So I've always wondered, if Batman was able to beat Superman, wouldn't taking down Homelander be a literal walk in the park? I mean, let's be honest, Homelander is essentially a watered down version of Superman. Like, he has the red laser eyes, he can fly, and has insane strength. And instead of being weakened by a green rock, he's juiced up by a blue chemical. Like, it's kind of funny if you actually think about it, because they genuinely tried to make a character almost exactly like Superman. They just did an entire 180. Like, instead of having a green weakness, they give him a blue enhancement. And they even have the same colorway suit, like red and blue. But I'm sure, as all of you know, one major problem when we started comparing Batman versus Superman to Batman versus Homelander is that Homelander doesn't have, you know, a kryptonite. Like, there's nothing that can actually strip Homelander's powers away. That's how, you know, Batfleck essentially killed, well, not killed, but almost killed Superman. So how in the world would Batman beat somebody who's just like Superman, but with no weaknesses that strips away his power? Like in the movie, before Batman even pulled out his good old reliable kryptonite weapon, he got his shit rocked. Like, Superman handed him his own ass with a side of shit. Batman only survived thanks to the custom-built mech suit that he made for that specific fight. Now, you might say, couldn't Batman just use the same suit that he used against Superman? Or even build a new one designed for Homelander specifically? And the answer is, you know, obviously, yeah, he would. Because it's not like bro would run in there without any sort of protection whatsoever. But the thing is, the suit wouldn't just be enough to take out Homelander. Like, Batman would quickly realize that if he tried to fight Homelander head on, you know, it wouldn't be close whatsoever. But I mean, it's also safe to say that Batman would never walk into a fight without a solid plan. And he especially wouldn't try to go toe-to-toe unless he knew that he had the upper hand. The only reason he dared to fight Superman at all was because he had the trump card: Kryptonite. Now, I also came across this comment while I was researching this video, and I just have to share it with you because it perfectly explains on how he will defeat Homelander. There's so many details that went over the audience's head. Detail 1. If you pause during Batman's training montage, when he makes the smoke grenades, they have the periodic symbol for lead on them, and Superman cannot see through lead and cannot see through the smoke screen as well. Detail 2. Batman had the gun setup and the sound machine to lower Superman's guard for the kryptonite grenade. He wanted Superman to feel invincible so that he would underestimate that weapon as well. Detail 3. The entire fight was planned by Batman to end in the alley with the spear. Superman played exactly into Batman's hands. This highlights that, unlike Superman, Batman is a combat expert and a master strategist, which really comes into play once their strength is equal. When Superman is brought down to Batman's level of strength in a fist fight, he gets absolutely annihilated. Now, all we need to take from this comment is just, you know, detail 1 to 3, so I don't have to explain the other tiers, but you could just read it if you want to. Pause the video. So what can we gather from that comment right there? Well, as we know, he used strategy, knowledge, and a really well-timed weakness. And that's exactly how Batman works. He's the god of prep time. He studied Superman's weaknesses before ever throwing a punch, and he'd do the exact same thing for Homelander. But also, the thing is, Homelander doesn't have any weaknesses that completely strip his power away like Superman does. And also, to this day, Superman having a weakness that can be obtained by anyone with some sort of status or power is still like mind-boggling to me. Now, I mean, as we've seen, sound can throw off Homelander. And also, Homelander has X-ray vision as well. But also, he can't see through zinc with his X-ray vision. That's kind of one of his weaknesses. Now, I know, neither of these are really game changers in a real fight, because when Batman fought Superman, you know, minor weaknesses didn't really win him the battle at all. Kryptonite did. So what is Homelander's version of Kryptonite? Homelander's version of Kryptonite isn't something physical, it's completely mental, and that's his fragile ego. And as we all know, getting inside somebody's head before a fight can drastically alter the outcome. Like if you ever watch a UFC conference, a boxing conference, or even any type of sports, people use trash talking as a weapon.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
And the thing is, that is Homelander's greatest weakness. So throughout The Boys, no matter how hard he tries to act above it all, Homelander always craves admiration. He wants the love and the worship of the people, and he can't just seem to shake that need. And here's when things get fun. Batfleck doesn't give a single damn about hurting anybody's feelings. He literally insulted a god straight to his face. Twice, may I add, saying stuff like,
"You're not brave. Men are brave. You were never a god. You were never even a man."
Like, I mean, bro said it so many times, I actually started to wonder if he actually thought Superman was trans or something. Like, come on, man. Now, imagine what Batfleck could say to Homelander. But instead of trading insults with him mid-fight, he would launch a full-scale public humiliation ritual. And Bruce would do his research. I mean, he has all the resources in the world, all the tech in the world. He can access any single file about Homelander. And I'm not even just talking about the surface level. I'm talking about the deepest and darkest secrets that Homelander possesses. And then he'd put together the most disrespectful, soul-crushing hit piece of all time and blast it on national TV. He'd make sure every single person in America saw it. And just to top it off, he'd slap Wayne Enterprises on the ending like a signature, so Homelander would know exactly who made that hit piece. Now, Homelander would absolutely lose his mind. His fragile ego wouldn't even be enough to handle it. He'd spiral into rage and fly straight to Gotham, determined to end whoever humiliated him like that. But Bruce, I mean, he would be 10 steps ahead. He'd lure Homelander into the Batcave, which by then would be fully prepped. High-frequency sound waves to disorient him, zinc-lined walls to block his x-ray vision, and an angry, emotional Homelander playing right into Batman's hands. And exactly like he did with Superman, Batman would win by being a master baiter. Now you might be wondering, can Homelander even be killed? And would Batman actually go through it since Batman doesn't kill? Well, first of all, yeah, Batfleck kills. And this version of Batman isn't afraid to cross lines when it means to protecting humanity. Plus, we're even talking about Snyder versus Bruce Wayne here. Like, he could easily team up with someone like Lex Luthor to cook up a weapon that could take Homelander down. And after all, Homelander was made in a lab. He's not a god. He's a human-made experiment. And that means there's always a solution. So would fighting Homelander be easier than fighting Superman? Yes and no. It'd be harder in the sense that Batman would have to create something from scratch to, kill Homelander, like no pre-existing Kryptonite cheat code this time, but Homelander, he's just not on Superman's level in terms of power or even discipline, and definitely not in composure. And with enough prep time, Batman wins by total domination. And leave your comments down below. Who do you think would honestly win? Because there are a lot of people who think Homelander would win because he has no kryptonite weakness. But there's just no doubt in my mind that Batfleck couldn't come up with some type of contraption or some way to defeat Homelander. Yes, in the TV show Boys universe, there's no known way that he can be killed. But as we know in the comics, he died from Black Noir posing as his clone to kill Homelander. They essentially made Black Noir a clone in disguise because they used it as a backup plan to whenever Homelander got out of control so they could kill him. But in the show, it's completely different from the books. And since we're comparing the show Homelander to Batfleck, it can get tricky. But I do think with prep time, Batman has it. But it will be close.